Hello, wonderful friends, sports fans, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I am Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Pete Carroll is back in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, Coach Carroll. Grandpa Pete is ready to coach again. The Raiders have struck a deal with Carroll to become their new head coach. The people who know me know how much I admire Pete Carroll, so I may be a little biased. Carroll is a big-time hire. This is a big one. I absolutely love the Pete Carroll to Las Vegas move. Apparently, people have nothing but good things to say about him, and there's some people that don't like this hire for whatever reason. I know, you can't please everybody, right? Some people are just not going to like it. There's just some miserable people out there. I like this hire. I'm for this. And let's go out and get some wins. Let's go out next season, get some wins, make something happen. Can they realistically make the playoffs? I really don't know. They're in a rebuild. It's going to take a while. It's going to take some time. But give it some time. Coach Carroll will get them where they need to go. I mean, you have a coach who, everywhere he's been, he was doing good things. I think he plays a huge role in turning this thing around. In Vegas, I've seen Carroll absolutely turn USC around, and then the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, as I've been saying it really depends on the quarterback play. I don't think we have a clue what to expect. I do know this. I do know he was a very good coach in Seattle, and I talked a bit about this when Seattle parted ways with him. I talked about him being forced out of Seattle. I feel like he was forced out. I don't think he really wanted to retire. I still think he had the desire to be a head coach in the National Football League, and when the time was right, he would get another job. And as we see here, he's going to be coaching the Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have chosen Pete Carroll. He's the adult in the room. They needed an adult in the room. The Pete Carroll move for once makes the Raiders look really good. For once, they did something right. I like the choice. They needed stability. They needed a culture, and Pete provides that. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win, many playoff appearances. I'm all right with this. I'm all right with this veteran coach, proven record of winning. It's like, okay, let's be patient. Let's give it time. And let's see what happens, because we know what he's done in the past. We know what this man can do. And it's like everything he touches just turns to gold. His resume kind of speaks for itself. And in a division where you have to face Andy Reid twice, Jim Harbaugh twice, Sean Payton twice, Carroll is a pretty good get. And based on history, one thing we know about Pete Carroll is that he is good with young quarterbacks. He is very, very good with young quarterbacks. He was good with a young Russell Wilson. He was tremendous with a young Mark Sanchez or Carson Palmer. Back when he coached at USC, a lot of great memories when he coached here at USC. One of my favorite coaches at USC. I mean, the program has been mediocre since he left. So that tells you everything right there, how great of a coach he is. Vegas, as we know, needs a complete remodel. Everybody got to realize the Raiders are in a complete rebuild. So again, you got to give Pete Carroll time, and Pete Carroll is qualified to rebuild the house. This is a rebuild, so it's going to take some time. And the hiring of Pete Carroll is just the start of what could come for a Raiders franchise that needs a complete organizational shift to change, the losing philosophy that has been going on for what, 2 decades? I mean, it's been a long time. Raider fans have had enough of losing. Raider fans should really like this hire, but again, there's mixed reactions to this. Not every Raider fan is happy about this hire. They wanted a young guy, but now you plug in a new coach who is proven and not some first year guy whose previous job was an offensive coordinator. Let's get our guy, the 73-year-old who has been around the game for a long time. And yes, this could mean better days ahead for the Raiders now that they have a guy who is in his 70s, but energetic and acts more like he's in his 30s. Again, I like what he did in Seattle, where he orchestrated a great defense. Remember Legion of Boom, and he helped revive Geno Smith's career. We'll always speak highly of Coach Carroll. I know I will always speak highly of Coach Carroll. And now you look at the situation in Vegas. Yes, he's walking into a situation, one that comes with many challenges. It's going to take time, but he can turn it around. Carroll now comes in and has to put together a staff. They don't really have a front office. They don't have a quarterback. All they really have, when you look at this roster, all they really have is Max Crosby and a couple of weapons. I can't promise you this. If you're patient, he'll eventually get this team back on top. I think he's the one guy, based on history, who can fix the Raiders. This is good for a team that hasn't been good for decades. This is great. When I heard the news today, I was like, okay, yeah, I think the Raiders got it right with this hire. We always talk about Carroll's knowledge and wisdom. You have to like this hire because, as we've seen from him throughout the years, he knows how to build a powerhouse. I don't care about his age. I don't care if he's 90 years old. He could be 90 years old for all I care. If he still got it, then he still got it. Age is only a number. I'm looking at this positively, going, he can instill stability and a winning culture. I like it. I really like it a lot. This wasn't a home run of a hire. This was a grand slam of a hire. Right on, Raiders.